Welcome back to our channel, friends. Today, we're going to talk about something that every English learner dreams about: how to master English alone. No teacher, no expensive classes, no coaching center. Just you, your time, and your determination. You see, many people believe you need a native teacher to become fluent. But the truth is, you don't need anyone else to start. Because real mastery doesn't come from others. It comes from you, from your habits, your curiosity, and your daily discipline. If you can create the right environment and mindset, you can learn English faster alone than many people do in classrooms full of students. So today, we'll explore powerful steps that can help you transform from a shy learner to a confident English speaker, even if you're learning completely by yourself. Tip 1. Create your English world. Why this is the first step. If you want to master English alone, the first thing you must do is build an English world around you, even if you live in a non-English speaking country. Because your brain learns through exposure. The more you hear, see, and feel English, the more naturally it becomes part of your daily life. When a child grows up, they don't study grammar first. They simply hear their parents, their friends, the sounds of daily life. And slowly, their brain starts to understand and reproduce the language. That's how you must learn too, by surrounding yourself with English until it feels natural. Example: Emma from London. Let's take Emma, a 22-year-old student who wanted to learn Spanish. She didn't have a teacher or a class, just her phone and her curiosity. Every day she changed small things. She switched her phone language to Spanish. She watched one Spanish video daily, no subtitles. She started thinking in Spanish while doing simple things like cooking or walking. At first, she understood almost nothing, but after 1 month, she started catching words. After 3 months, she could hold short conversations. After 6 months, she could speak with confidence, all by herself. The same method works for English too. How you can create your English world. 1. Change your environment. Change the language settings of your phone, apps, and social media to English. This simple change exposes your brain to hundreds of English words daily, without effort. 2. Watch English content every day. Choose something you enjoy. Stories, podcasts, motivational videos, or movies. Even if you understand only 20% at first, keep going. Your mind is learning silently. 3. Label everything around you. Take sticky notes and write words like mirror, table, door, window, and stick them on objects in your room. Each time you look at them, your eyes train your brain without textbooks. 4. Listen while you live. Play English music, podcasts, or audiobooks while cleaning, exercising, or cooking. Passive listening builds natural familiarity with pronunciation and rhythm. 5. Speak to yourself in English. Describe your actions aloud. I'm making breakfast. I'm getting ready for work. The weather looks beautiful today. It might feel funny at first, but remember, speaking to yourself is how you train fluency without pressure. Pro tip: create your own English space, even a small one. Keep your notebooks, books, and devices all set to English. The goal is to make English unavoidable, to make your brain live inside it. Because once English surrounds you, you stop studying it. You start absorbing it. When you learn alone, remember this truth: you are both the teacher and the student. You decide your pace, your style, and your energy. The world won't hand you fluency. You must build it. And every time you surround yourself with English, you're taking one step closer to mastering it. So don't wait for a class, a book, or a miracle. Create your English world today and watch your fluency grow faster than ever before. Tip 2. Stay consistent. Build a powerful daily English routine. Why consistency beats talent. Most learners don't fail because they're not smart. They fail because they're not consistent. They start with excitement, watch videos for 3 days, download an app, memorize a few words, and then stop. But fluency is not built in 3 days. It's built in small moments, repeated every day. Learning English is just like going to the gym. If you train for 1 day and skip 5, you'll never get stronger. But if you train a little every day, your brain becomes sharper, faster, and naturally fluent. So the goal is not to study English for hours. The goal is to touch English every day. The power of small daily steps. Your brain loves patterns. When you learn English daily, even for 15 minutes, you teach your brain, English is part of my life. And when something becomes part of your life, your brain stops resisting it. It stops treating English as a subject. It starts treating it as a habit. That's how true fluency grows. Quietly, consistently, day by day. Example: James from Manchester. Let's take James, a learner from Manchester. When he decided to learn English alone, he made one promise to himself. No matter how busy I am, I will spend 15 minutes with English every day. Some days he watched videos. Some days he listened to podcasts. Some days he just spoke to himself in the mirror. He never missed a day. After 2 months, James realized something beautiful. He was thinking in English without trying. He was dreaming in English. He was not memorizing anymore. He was living it. That's the power of consistency. It turns learning into identity. How to build your daily English routine. 1. Create a morning connection. Start your day with English energy. Listen to a short motivational podcast or read 1 page of a story. Morning English sets the tone for your whole day. It reminds your brain, today I speak English. 2. Set a specific time. Don't say, I'll study sometime today. Pick a clear slot. Morning 8 a.m., lunch break, or before bed. Routine creates discipline, and discipline creates results. 3. Use the 15-minute formula. You don't need hours. You need consistency. Try this formula. 5 minutes of listening. 5 minutes of speaking. 5 minutes of reading or writing. That's enough to grow if you do it daily. 4. Track your progress. Keep a simple calendar. Every day you practice, mark a check mark. The more days you see in a row, the more motivated you feel to continue. 5. Avoid the perfection trap. Don't wait for the perfect moment or perfect accent. Progress is better than perfection. A 10-minute imperfect practice is always better than a 0-minute perfect plan. Simple daily plan for you. Time activity goal. Morning. Listen to English audio while getting ready. Build exposure. Afternoon. Speak out loud for 5 minutes about your day. Build confidence. Evening. Read 1 page of an English story and write 3 new words. Grow vocabulary. Do this for 30 days. You will see your confidence and fluency explode. Common mistakes to avoid. Studying for 5 hours one day and quitting for a week. Waiting for motivation before starting. Comparing yourself to others. Stay steady. Stay small. Stay strong. Remember this truth. Consistency creates confidence. Every day you practice, your brain becomes a little faster. Your sentences become a little clearer. Your voice becomes a little stronger. You don't need to learn everything today. You just need to show up today. Because success in English isn't about speed, it's about stability. Keep going, and one day you'll look back and realize you did it alone. Tip 3. Practice speaking when you're alone. Train your fluency like a professional speaker. Why this is the game changer. Most learners understand English. They read well. They write decently. But when it's time to speak, their mind goes blank. They know the words, but they can't find them fast enough. They hesitate, they pause, they translate in their head. The problem isn't lack of knowledge. It's lack of speaking practice. And here's the truth. You don't need a partner to practice speaking. You just need yourself, your voice, and your environment. Because the person you speak to most in life is you. And that makes you your best speaking partner. How speaking alone builds fluency. When you speak aloud, even to yourself, your brain performs 4 powerful actions at once. 1. It recalls vocabulary from memory. 2. It forms sentences automatically. 3. It trains your mouth muscles to pronounce correctly. 4. It connects thought plus language plus emotion in real time. That's how fluency is built. Not by memorizing, but by using English as a living tool. Example. Grace from Toronto. Let's meet Grace, a young woman from Toronto. She loved English movies but never spoke confidently. Whenever she tried to talk with native speakers, her voice would freeze. So Grace made a simple rule. I will speak to myself in English every day, even if nobody's listening. She began small. Each morning she described what she was doing. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making coffee. The morning looks beautiful. Then she added thoughts. Today, I'm feeling excited. I'm a little tired, but I'll do my best. After a month, she could speak for 5 minutes without stopping. After 3 months, her accent, flow, and confidence improved dramatically. She didn't learn from a teacher. She trained herself through daily speaking practice. How to practice speaking alone. 1 mirror practice. Your personal stage. Stand in front of a mirror. Look into your eyes. Speak. Talk about your day, your plans, your dreams. Don't focus on grammar. Focus on expression. This builds self-confidence and body language along with fluency. Example. Today, I'll finish my work early and read an English story before bed. The mirror gives instant feedback. You'll see your gestures, hear your rhythm, and feel your progress. 2 shadow native speakers. Choose a short video or podcast from native speakers. Play 1 sentence, pause, and repeat exactly as they say it. Copy their tone, rhythm, and stress. This method, called shadowing, helps you sound more natural and improves listening plus speaking together. Example. Here I don't give up easily. Then repeat it with the same energy. 3. Talk to yourself about real life. Throughout the day, describe your surroundings and emotions in English. While walking. It's windy today. While cooking. This soup smells delicious. While thinking. I should call my friend later. These small self-talks build automatic fluency because they link English with your real life. 4. Create daily speaking topics. Every day, pick 1 topic, your favorite movie, your goals, or your morning routine, and speak for 5 minutes. Don't write a script. Just talk freely. If you get stuck, pause, think, and continue. This trains your mind to respond naturally, just like real conversations. 5. Record and review yourself. Recording is powerful. It shows your growth clearly. At the start, you may sound shy or slow, but after a few weeks, you'll notice smoother sentences, fewer pauses, and stronger pronunciation. Save your recordings. They are proof of your journey from hesitation to confidence. 6. Use online tools as virtual partners. Use free tools or apps that allow conversation practice, pronunciation check, or AI dialogue. Even reading aloud to a digital assistant or chatbot helps your fluency muscles stay active. Your 10-minute daily speaking routine. Time activity goal. 2-minute mirror talk about your mood. Build expression. 3 minutes. Shadow one short video clip. Train pronunciation. 3 minutes. Describe your surroundings. Connect words plus reality. 2-minute record a summary of your day. Track progress. 10 minutes. That's all you need to sound more natural each week. Common mistakes to avoid. Waiting for a speaking partner. Your voice is enough. Overthinking grammar. Focus on fluency first. Speaking only inside your mind. Say it aloud. Be loud. Be real. Be consistent. Remember this. Your voice is your classroom. You don't need perfect grammar or expensive lessons to sound fluent. You just need to open your mouth and let English flow every single day. Each sentence you say is a workout for your fluency muscles. Each mistake you make is proof you're improving. You can be your own best teacher if you have courage and discipline. So talk, speak, express. Don't wait for confidence to come before you speak. Speak first, and confidence will follow. Because English mastery doesn't begin when someone listens to you. It begins the moment you start speaking, even when you're alone. Tip 4. Listen like a language master. Train your ears to understand fast English. Why listening is the secret to real fluency. You can't speak what you don't hear. Listening is the foundation of every great English speaker. When you were a child, you didn't start by reading or writing. You started by listening. You heard sounds, rhythms, emotions. And slowly, your brain started to understand and copy them. That's how you learned your first language. And that's exactly how you can master English alone. The problem is, most learners only listen passively. They play English audios while scrolling on their phones without paying attention. That doesn't train your brain. That only fills time. To truly understand fast English, you must listen actively. With focus, emotion, and curiosity. You must listen like a master. How active listening transforms you. When you listen actively, your brain doesn't just hear. It analyzes. It studies pronunciation, rhythm, stress, and tone. It learns how sentences are built in real speech, not from grammar rules, but from real people. This is where real transformation happens. Your ears become your teachers, and your brain becomes your classroom. When you train your listening every day, you'll soon realize something magical. You stop translating. You start understanding English in English. Example: Lucas from Birmingham. Let's talk about Lucas, a learner from Birmingham who could read and write English well. But whenever he watched a movie, the dialogue felt too fast. He thought, maybe native speakers just talk too quickly. But his mentor told him, no, Lucas, it's not speed. It's your ears. You need to train them. So Lucas changed his approach. Every evening, he listened to short English clips for 15 minutes. Not as background noise, but as practice. He paused after every sentence, repeated it, and tried to catch the rhythm and sound. After 2 weeks, he began to recognize phrases. After 2 months, he could understand movies without subtitles. After 6 months, he was speaking naturally, because his ears had learned to think in English. He didn't memorize. He absorbed. How to train your ears like a language master. One, listen daily, but with purpose. Don't wait for free time. Dedicate a few minutes every day just to listen actively. Close your eyes, focus completely, and try to catch every detail. The tone, the pauses, the feeling behind each word. Even 10 focused minutes of daily listening can change everything. 2. Choose the right content for your level. Start with what you understand 60 to 70% of. If it's too easy, you won't grow. If it's too hard, you'll give up. Good examples: English learning podcasts, graded reader audiobooks, YouTube stories or interviews with subtitles. Gradually increase the difficulty as your ears get stronger. 3. Listen multiple times. The first time, listen for general meaning. The second time, focus on pronunciation and new words. The third time, repeat aloud after each sentence. Each round reveals something new your brain didn't catch before. Foreshadow the speakers. Shadowing is when you listen and speak at the same time. Copying the rhythm, accent, and energy of native speakers. This not only improves your listening, but also trains your speaking muscles. Example: play a sentence like, "I'm proud of what I did today." Then repeat it exactly. Same voice, same pace, same emotion. Your mouth learns what your ears hear. 5. Use subtitles the smart way. Subtitles are helpful, but only when used wisely. First, watch without subtitles to test your understanding. Then, watch with English subtitles to connect what you heard with what was said. Finally, repeat the lines aloud to lock them in memory. 6. Listen everywhere, anytime. Transform boring time into learning time. On your commute, listen to English podcasts. While cleaning, play audiobooks. Before sleeping, listen to short English stories. Your environment becomes your classroom, and your ears stay in training all day long. 7. Write what you hear. Once or twice a week, do a short dictation exercise. Listen to a 1-minute clip and write down what you hear. This builds a bridge between your ears and your brain, improving both listening and spelling. A simple 15-minute daily listening plan. Time action goal: 5 minutes. Listen to a short English story, build focus. 5 minutes. Repeat and shadow the speaker, train rhythm. 5 minutes. Write down and review 3 new phrases. Strengthen memory. Follow this plan daily for 1 month, and your ears will transform completely. Common mistakes to avoid: listening while multitasking. Your brain learns nothing. Depending only on subtitles, you'll never hear the natural rhythm. Focusing only on accent. Understand first, perfect later. Listen deeply, repeat actively, and grow daily. Remember this truth: your mouth speaks what your ears hear. If your ears are trained, your words will flow naturally. If your ears are weak, your mind will always struggle to catch up. Listening is not passive. It's practice. Every sound you hear, every rhythm you copy, every emotion you feel through English, they all shape your fluency. You don't need to live in an English-speaking country to understand native speakers. You just need to bring English sounds into your life every day. Because when your ears fall in love with English, your tongue will follow automatically. Tip 5. Build a strong English vocabulary naturally, without memorizing word lists. Why most people forget words. If you've ever tried to memorize hundreds of English words using notebooks or apps, you probably know the feeling. You study hard today, feel confident tomorrow, and forget everything a week later. The problem isn't your brain. The problem is your method. Your mind doesn't learn by repetition alone. It learns by connection. Connecting a word to a story, a sound, an emotion, or a real moment. When you memorize words mechanically, you're feeding your brain isolated data. But when you live those words, when you see, hear, and use them in real life, they become permanent. So if you want to build vocabulary naturally, stop memorizing. Start absorbing. How natural vocabulary learning works. Every time you encounter a new word in a story, a song, or a conversation, your brain notices its sound and context. If you see it again later in a different situation, your brain makes a connection. Ah, I heard this before. That connection is how real memory is built. Your goal is to create as many of these connections as possible by surrounding yourself with English that you actually enjoy. Example: Sophie from New York. Let's talk about Sophie, a student from New York who used to memorize 10 new words every day from a dictionary. After 2 weeks, she knew none of them. Then she changed her method. She started reading short English stories online. Whenever she saw a new word, she didn't stop to translate. She just tried to guess its meaning from the sentence. Later, she heard the same word again in a podcast, then saw it in a YouTube comment, and finally used it in a journal entry. That repetition through context made it stick forever. Now Sophie doesn't memorize vocabulary anymore. She discovers it naturally. How you can build vocabulary naturally. 1. Read to discover, not to study. When you read English books, stories, or articles, don't underline every new word. Instead, try to understand the meaning through context. For example, she walked into the room with grace. Even if you don't know grace, you can guess it's something positive, like elegance or style. Guessing from context is a superpower. It forces your brain to think in English. 2. Collect words from real life. Don't learn from textbooks alone. Learn from your life. When you watch a movie and hear a new phrase, pause and write it down. When you read a comment online that you like, save it. Example: if you watch a scene in a movie where a character says, "I was heartbroken," you remember it because you feel the emotion of that moment. That is natural learning. You feel the word, not just see it. 3. Group words by theme. Instead of memorizing random lists, organize words by topics. Emotions: happy, excited, proud, relieved. Travel: airport, luggage, passport, flight work, meeting, deadline, promotion, project. This helps your brain build logical connections between related words, making them easier to remember and use. 4. Use the words you learn immediately. When you see a new word, don't just note it, use it. Speak it aloud, write it in a sentence, or use it in a message. For example, if you learn the word grateful, say it that day. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for this moment. Usage cements memory. The more you use a word, the less it fades away. 5. Watch and listen with intention. Movies and songs are gold mines for vocabulary. But don't just enjoy them, learn from them. Pick one scene and focus on how native speakers use words. Listen to their intonation, pauses, and rhythm. Write down 2 phrases you like and repeat them aloud. Over time, these phrases become part of your natural speech. 6. Create a word notebook of life. Keep a small notebook or phone note where you write words you encounter daily. Don't just write the meaning. Add a sentence or a memory. Example: word, inspire, sentence. This video inspired me to keep learning. Every week, review your list and speak those words aloud. You'll see how they begin to flow from your tongue automatically. 7. Connect words to emotions. Never learn a word coldly. If it's a happy word, smile when you say it. If it's a sad word, say it slowly. Emotion gives words color, and color stays in memory. A simple daily vocabulary routine. Time action goal. Morning, read 1 page of English content, discover new words in context. Afternoon, use 3 new words in sentences. Train active recall. Evening, watch a short video and note 2 phrases. Absorb natural speech. Night, review and speak your 5 daily words. Make them permanent. Common mistakes to avoid. Memorizing hundreds of words without context. Focusing only on meaning. Forgetting how to use them. Learning without emotion or curiosity. Learn naturally through connection, emotion, and daily use. Remember this: words are not just letters, they're experiences. Every word you learn is a door to a new world. When you see a word in a story, hear it in a song, and speak it in your life, you don't just remember it, you own it. You don't need a dictionary to be fluent. You need exposure, curiosity, and passion. The secret to mastering English alone is to make learning a part of your living. So read, listen, feel, and speak English every day. Not because you have to, but because you love to. Because when you connect words to life, you'll never forget them again. Tip 6. Think in English. Train your mind to use the language automatically. Why thinking in English is the ultimate goal. You can memorize words, watch hundreds of lessons, and even speak daily. But if you still translate every thought from your native language into English before speaking, fluency will always feel slow. Real fluency begins when you stop translating and start thinking directly in English. When your brain creates ideas in English, you don't have to search for words. They come naturally. You speak faster, understand faster, and express yourself more clearly. And the best part? You can train this ability alone. You don't need a teacher, just a strategy, discipline, and a curious mind. How the mind learns to think in English. Your brain is like a computer. It follows patterns you repeat. If you keep translating every thought, your brain gets used to that path. Native language. Translate. English. But when you start describing your thoughts directly in English, your brain starts forming a new pathway. Over time, that path becomes automatic, and you'll notice yourself reacting in English without effort. That's when you've truly mastered the language, when it becomes your second voice. Example: Jack from London. Let's talk about Jack, a learner from London who wanted to become fluent in Spanish. At first, every time he wanted to speak, his brain would translate from English to Spanish, word by word. It made his speech slow and awkward. Then he decided to train his mind differently. He started describing his surroundings in Spanish: his breakfast, his clothes, the weather. He stopped translating in his head and began forming thoughts directly in Spanish. In a few weeks, he noticed something magical. When someone asked him a question, he no longer had to think in English first. The answers came to him in Spanish, naturally. That's the exact transformation you need to make with English. How to train your brain to think in English. 1. Start with simple thoughts. Don't try to think deep philosophical ideas at first. Begin small, your daily actions, feelings, and plans. When you wake up, say in your mind, "I'm brushing my teeth. I feel sleepy. I need coffee." During the day, add more thoughts. "I like this song. The sky looks beautiful today." You're teaching your brain to form English sentences naturally. 2. Stop translating. Start replacing. When you hear a word in your native language, try to instantly replace it with its English form. For example, when you see water, don't think of the word in your native tongue. Think water. This helps your mind shift from translation mode to direct comprehension mode. 3. Surround yourself with English triggers. Your environment controls your thoughts. Change your phone, social media, and even your diary into English. When your eyes see English daily, your mind begins to think in it automatically. Even simple things like writing to-do list instead of your native words rewire your brain toward English thinking. 4. Practice silent conversations. Imagine you're talking to someone in English, in your head. Example, you're walking outside. In your mind, think. If someone asked me about the weather, I'd say, "It's quite warm today." If someone offered me coffee, I'd reply, "Sure, thank you, I'd love some." This mental dialogue strengthens your ability to respond quickly in real conversations. 5. Use visual thinking. When you think of a word, don't connect it to translation. Connect it to an image. For example, when you hear apple, imagine the fruit, red, shiny, fresh. When you hear tired, imagine someone yawning or lying on a bed. Your brain loves pictures, and pictures don't need translation. 6. Use journaling for thought practice. Every night, write 5 lines about your day in English. For example, today I woke up early. I went to the park and read a book. The air was fresh. I felt calm and happy. This simple exercise trains your brain to think directly in English sentences. 7. Practice real emotion in English. If you feel happy, say, "I'm happy." If you feel frustrated, say, "I'm frustrated." Speak your emotions instantly, without thinking. Emotional words are the most powerful teachers because they connect to your real life. A 10-minute daily thinking practice. Time activity goal. Morning, describe 3 things you see. Train observation in English. Afternoon. Think 3 sentences about your mood. Build emotional vocabulary. Evening. Write 5 lines in your journal. Strengthen sentence structure. Night. Imagine a 1-minute English conversation. Build spontaneous thinking. Follow this for 30 days, and your thoughts will begin to speak English automatically. Common mistakes to avoid. Translating every sentence word by word. Waiting for perfect grammar before thinking aloud. Forcing yourself to think too complex too early. Keep it simple. Keep it daily. Keep it natural. Remember this. Fluency begins in the mind, not the mouth. Before you can speak English confidently, you must think it confidently. Every thought you form in English makes your brain faster, sharper, and more automatic. Don't worry about mistakes. Your goal is not perfection. Your goal is habit. You can study hundreds of books, but until your mind starts using English naturally, it will always feel like a subject. So stop memorizing. Start thinking. When your thoughts become English, your words will follow effortlessly. Tip 7. Stay motivated and never give up. Keep your English journey alive. The truth about learning alone. Learning English alone can feel like a lonely road. There will be days when you're excited, full of energy and dreams. But there will also be days when you feel stuck, tired, or invisible. No one is clapping for you. No one is checking your progress. You begin to ask yourself, am I really improving? But here's the truth. The greatest learners in history walked alone before the world noticed them. They practiced in silence. They believed quietly. And when the world finally saw them, it looked like magic. But it wasn't magic. It was consistency. It was patience. It was self-motivation. If you want to master English alone, your most powerful tool is not grammar, not vocabulary. It's your mindset. Why motivation matters more than talent. English fluency doesn't depend on where you live or how rich you are. It depends on one thing: how long you can keep going when it feels slow. Everyone starts strong, but only a few stay strong. Because when progress becomes invisible, motivation disappears. That's why you must build a fire inside you that no one else can put out. A fire that says, even if I have no teacher, I will teach myself. Even if I have no audience, I will speak. Even if I fail today, I will try again tomorrow. That's how real fluency is born, through quiet persistence. Example, Clara from Sydney. Let's talk about Clara, a student from Sydney who dreamed of becoming an English teacher. She couldn't afford expensive courses, so she decided to learn completely alone. At first, she was excited. She studied daily, watched videos, and practiced speaking. But after 2 months, she started feeling lost. There was no one to guide her, no one to correct her mistakes. One morning, she looked in the mirror and said, "Clara, if no one believes in you, you must believe in yourself." She wrote her goals on a paper. Speak English confidently. Read one English book every month. Record herself speaking weekly. She stuck that paper on her wall and looked at it every morning. 6 months later, Clara spoke fluently and naturally, and she achieved her dream job as a language tutor. She didn't wait for motivation. She created it. How to stay motivated when you're learning alone. 1. Remind yourself why you started. Write your reason somewhere visible. I want to speak confidently with the world. I want to build my future through English. Every time you feel tired, read that reason again. It will bring you back to your purpose. 2. Track your small wins. Every new word you remember, every sentence you speak, every paragraph you understand. These are victories. Write them down. Progress may look small today, but it builds greatness tomorrow. 3. Surround yourself with English energy. Follow YouTubers, podcasts, or communities that inspire you. Even if you learn alone, you don't have to feel alone. Fill your mind with voices that remind you why you started. 4. Celebrate your effort. Fluency takes time, and every day you practice is an achievement. Reward yourself. Listen to your favorite English song, watch a movie, or write something creative. Learning is not punishment. It's self-growth. 5. Visualize your future self. Close your eyes and imagine the day you'll speak fluent English confidently, giving interviews, traveling the world, or inspiring others. That vision is not a dream. It's your future self waiting for you. Keep walking toward it, one word at a time. A daily motivation routine. Time, action, purpose. Morning read. One motivational English quote aloud. Start with energy. Afternoon. Watch a short English video that inspires you, recharge passion. Evening, write one line of gratitude in English, stay positive. Night, visualize your fluent self for 1 minute. Strengthen belief. Common mistakes to avoid. Comparing your progress to others. Expecting quick results. Stopping when motivation feels low. Keep your reason alive. Practice daily. Stay patient. Remember this, friends. English is not just a language. It's a journey of self-growth, courage, and transformation. When you learn alone, you're not weak. You're brave. You're not lost. You're exploring your own path. And one day, the world will look at you and say, "How did you become so fluent?" And you'll smile and answer, "I taught myself." So keep going, keep learning, keep believing. because the greatest success stories are written in silence, by people who refuse to quit. Friends, remember, no one can stop a person who believes in their own effort. If today's video inspired you, hit the like button, share it with others who are learning alone, and subscribe to our channel. Together, we're not just learning English, we're building strength, confidence, and a brighter future. Your journey starts here, and it starts now.